to the 20s, and this was one of those spots we come to. 1920s, that's the period before the 30s. How good are my numbers? That's the period before the Nazis. 1920s, folks. And this is where you've got a city which is just filled with both good and bad. If you're traveling Europe in the 20s, you want to come here at least. Check it out. It's Paris, Berlin, 1920s. And we come here for the entertainment, known as this entertainment capital. There's a stream of artists that are coming in because of new change. The monarchy collapses right after the First World War. Lots of things happen after the First World War. Right? You know, Germany lost the First World War. Yeah? And this is now leading to major changes and problems. 1918, World War I ends. Monarchy collapses. Kaiser Wilhelm is forced to abdicate. A new government sets up. It's called the Weimar Republic. Right? The new Weimar government. And this is, you know, first taste of democracy that Germany's ever had. You've got now the country having to deal with all the problems that follow. And the first problems, political ones, right? Germans are now fighting Germans, literally on the streets. You've got this revolution in the north, and you've got the far right, the far left shooting it out on the streets. Dangerous times. And in all honesty, if you're in Berlin, there was much more concern about the left, the communists. What's happened 1917 in St. Petersburg? Russian Revolution. Yeah. Bolsheviks killed the Russian Tsar, right, the communists, and the royal family. So now there's this threat of communism trickling down in the north. So people are freaking out, like, watch out for the communists. Things that even get worse because of the Treaty of Versailles. You've heard of this, right? The Treaty of Versailles, what the Allies drew up to punish Germany. So think of everything: territorial loss, they sink their battleships, they reduce their military, right? And then there's slap in the face of Germany, you've got to pay reparations. Now it's huge. Germany, in the end, decides to print new money. Guess what that leads to? Hyperinflation. Out of control. By 1923, look at the state of things. This is, kids are playing with money, right? It's a toy. To make sense of that, let's imagine we're here in 1923. Right? You with me? 1923, you're here. Let's go to the bakery. We've got to go to the bakery and we're going to buy one loaf of bread. You need 1 billion mark.
Like a box.
Seriously.
A box of money.
Yeah, exactly. A box, a wheelbarrow, a suitcase full of money to make the purchase of one loaf of bread.
Isn't that where the Monopoly thing came from? A wheelbarrow money?
Is that right?
That's what I heard from them.
I don't know. Interesting bit of trivia there. I like that. I'm going to check that out. Maybe. I don't know. You could be right. You may be well be right. So early days, new government, a lot of people are like, what's going on? This is not working at all. Now there is recovery. Okay, but it's short-lived though. Germany, there's a new currency formed and there's massive loans. So stability, okay times, mid-20s. But then what happens at the end of the 20s? Great Depression. Yeah. Great Depression sweeps the world, and now, only now in fact, 1929, prior to that, most Germans, you could assume they walked away from the thought of the Nazis, but now there's a switch of attitude, right? Now they're listening to the Nazi party because of massive unemployment, young men looking for work, right? And what the average poor family is now drawn to is the Nazi propaganda. And you can see here images of Nazi propaganda from 1929, right? Image of the worker, so clever tactic, target the masses, and the caption above and below reads, "We want work and bread, vote Hitler." Right? Now, what fuels the fire, the popularity of the Nazis, is entertainment capital Berlin. Yeah, it was epic, really, no doubt about it. Did you know that, do you know Weimar cinema is famous for making some of the first horror films ever seen? Awesome, really. Like this city was, and other surrounding cities, Nosferatu is one of the classics. If you don't know it, first film to portray Dracula on the big screen. epic. Hitchcock gets inspiration for that film, right? Tim Burton, you know this, you know Tim Burton, yeah? Dark times of cinema. You know, weird, twisted, abstract films. Really cutting edge. Right? So definitely pioneer in the films. Fritz Lang, also another legend. He makes Metropolis. Right? Masterpiece. You know that film? Yeah. Again, cutting edge at the time. Cutting edge because of the models they used. Right? Amazing model making. Like George Lucas and Star Wars would get inspiration for this type of stuff here. Right? Entertainment is also the stages filled with dancing ladies. Josephine Baker, legend from America, moved to Paris actually, spent most of the time in Paris, comes to Berlin and does the banana dance. It looks like sausages. It's not divorced around, it's not a currywurst belt, it's bananas. And that theme of like wearing very little was pretty normal. Berlin was this place where you just do what you want. Because Weimar government abolished censorship. So think about it, right? 1920s, if you want to behave any fashion you like, you know, all these great thinkers, the liberal minds, the writers, the poets, the film directors, they're like, Berlin. It's a no-brainer, I'm going to come here and hang with my artistic crew. Yeah? What else is going on for entertainment? Sex. Yeah? Think about it. You've got no work. You've got no money, right? Prostitution is now the path you're going to have to take. Yeah? People were forced to do it. And it's staggering numbers. If you looked at Berlin in 1930, population was 4.1 million, right? 4.1 million. Average night, 450,000 sex workers. Right? So 500,000 from 4.1 million selling their bodies. Shocking. So Berlin gets known, right? Classic nickname back then, Berlin is the brothel. Right? What's another nickname? Cocaine capital. Doctors are prescribing that for you then. If I'm a war veteran from First World War and I'm coming home to Berlin, let's say I'm an amputee, right? Fought in the First World War. Doc, I'm in a lot of pain. What do you got? Well, here's a prescription for 6 grams of cocaine. If that doesn't work, try the opium. Right? And this just got everywhere. This was just normal. This is like buying aspirin at the chemist today. You know, buying ibuprofen. How do you pronounce ibuprofen? I just pronounced it in German. Ibuprofen. So I get mixed up now. Ibuprofen. Guten day. Losing my English. So think about it for a minute, right? It might sound sexy, cool, and fun, but for the conservatives, wow, we've got to shut that down. Who's going to shut it down? That Nazi party, right? The promise of the cleanup, the restoring, to remove the filth, to make Berlin safe again, the capital of Germany. Right? This was that road. Right? This road was where the Golden 20s, one of the roads where the Golden 20s was known for all that action. Same today. We'd come here and work and shop, but in the night, in the 20s, we'd stick around. Jazz bars in the cellar, right? Women of the night on the streets. Marlene Dietrich, great cabaret performer, film star later on. She stars on this road. Brilliant times. Dangerous times though. Troublesome times. Those times are over. On this road at least. You can still find sexy times in Berlin, but you won't find them on this road. You have to go to Panorama. So, this is the road that we're on. Now, an image from this time, the 80s. Okay, Friedrichstraße is the road here, and that's the strip of the road here. It's showing you how Checkpoint Charlie looked in this time of the 80s. If you look closely, you can see the border here, right? So West Berlin, right? And that building there on the corner is the yellow building on the corner here, right? So right in front of that building, look at that, the white line. You won't see the white line today, but that's the border line I mentioned before. So West Berlin, East Berlin starts here, okay? The wall is up, of course you can see it, right? By the 80s it's there, and you can see it here as well. So this would be a part of the gas strip. That's what this be. Right. Now, when you look closely, checkpoint. Right, you've got two sides that are manning the checkpoints. Okay, this is where you have the Soviet sector here in the east and the US sector in the west. Right. Now, when you look at the structures in place, the US sector, all they have is that. They didn't have the issues. Right? It's not West Germans that are fleeing to escape and get into the east. It's the other way around. Right? Some West Germans did move to the east, but you did it in an orderly fashion. Right? It's like thousands and thousands going the opposite way. So clearly East Germany have to be prepared for that. Because don't forget, East Germans that are escaping, it's not just along the wall. People are going through checkpoints to get out. Right? Early days, if you imagine this is the 80s, and you see later on, people tried, but they crashed. They couldn't handle their car properly, they crashed into the pillars here. People then get more creative, because don't forget, with every escape, East Germany eventually finds out, and then they're checking that method, and they're making it means to stop it. Alright, so then people start to dig tunnels. Amazing effort. Digging a tunnel in this city is not easy. Do you know what Berlin is built on? Do you know what Berlin means? Swamp. Berlin is an old Slavic word which means marshland, swampland. So it's like sand. It's like digging a tunnel at the beach. It's possible. But they made it happen. They made it happen, really. Then other ways to get out, to escape, is thanks to West Germans. Right? If you're a West Berliner, I guarantee it, you're going to know someone in the East. Guaranteed. Your old school friend, your sister, your grandma, your brother. Right? You love the love of your life. Imagine that. Imagine romance sparks and the war comes up. Right? My girlfriend's in East Berlin. I make it my mission now. I get my visa, I do my day trip into the East, meet my girlfriend. I'm like, honey, get in. Get in the gas tank. Yeah? I built another one in the car, a hidden gas tank, fake gas tank. Right? Or get in the seat. Like literally inside the seat. Unstitch the upholstery, open it up, pull the springs and the cushions out, and now she's stuffed in the seat. Yeah? Surfboards we use, folks. Crazy things. Get a few surfboards, stack them together, and then hollow the thing out. Now worm your buddy inside. On the roof, this is on the roof racks, right? On display. Where are you going surfing? As a border guard, like, excuse me, sir, where are the waves? Not familiar with any amazing reef break in the coast of Germany. There's a wave in Munich, in the river, but that's about it. Right, now, if you get caught, you're in prison. Right? And that would apply to you as well. If you're a West Berliner and you stuff the whole thing up and you're in East Berlin, East German authorities got you, they're going to lock you up. But don't worry, the West would buy you back. Yeah? All under the radar. There was a conversation, right, between the East and the West. The West would be informed. All right, you got 4 of us. How much do you want? And they'd buy. West Germany would buy you back. Pay for your freedom. They made a lot of money. Look at all this today, and this is all cleared away. Obviously, it's too much. What has been recreated? I stress the recreation. The booth and the sign. If you come down to the corner, you can see it down here. Where are you from? A white line today, okay? But remembering back to the image, the white line would have stretched across the road here. So if you imagine the wall going down like this way, to your left and to your right, okay? we're in the east still, and as soon as you cross the road, you would be in the west. And there you can see the recreation of the sign, and also the little booth in the middle of the road.
Was it recreated?
Not real, obviously. Real people, German actors. So the whole Disneyfication of history is a common phrase that people attach to this. Right? I mean, you got to see it, but yeah, don't read much into it. You pay them for a photo, you know. Photograph above. I mean, this is also still questionable as to who exactly they are, but don't look at who Harper was, what he did. Just take the fact that it's an American and a Soviet soldier. On the back of it, there's the face of a Soviet soldier, right? And it's more about paying respect, you know, the tribute to the two sides, because this is where they were, right? Soviet sector, US sector.
Who is he?
What's that?
Who is he?
He could be an actor. No one really knows.
Oh,
all online blogs saying, oh, Mr. Harper was an actor who put the uniform on and close to the camera. This was the outer wall. The inner wall is gone. Right? The inner wall, see the big balloon over there? Right? The inner wall would have ran parallel to this wall, and it would have pretty much went underneath the balloon where it is today, and then it continued in and butted into the side of that building over the road. You can see it here. To make sense of this, the photographer was standing back up the road where we crossed the road, right? And as soon as we got to this side, that was where the photographer was watching. Camera shooting this way. So those people, they're West balloons, right? That's the outer wall there. Right, now the inner wall, you can see it butts into the side of the building. Can you see that? Just there. So clearly here, between the outer wall and the building, it's quite narrow. But don't think that's an easier way to get out. Because you just got more border guards there. Right? A couple more watchdogs. And they are shooting to kill. Do you know that? The East German border guards are told, like literally programmed, see someone, shoot to kill. And they do. The wall was standing for 28 years, right? And they have a number of deaths within the death strip alone, 139, right? Add a couple of extras where people were shot too close for comfort. Right, a couple of guys shot because they looked like they were trying to escape too close to the inner wall. Right? From that number, also think of them not only being East Germans, some of them were West Germans who tried to get in to help East Germans out. Some of them were border guards. Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate.
You said it was 139 people shot?
In the death strip. Doesn't sound like much, right? Don't forget the Iron Curtain though. Yeah? Border between East and West Germany.
Did they get across?
Yeah, 5,000 approximately.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Like I said, you get creative, man. You get tunnels, you get...
No, but I mean over the wall.
Oh, look, if you think of escape stories, most of them in the first few years, before the death strip was really built up as a fortress, and most of them are actually along the Iron Curtain. Because the Iron Curtain between East and West Germany, that's a massive distance. That's like 1,500 kilometers. Right? Now, obviously, East Germany didn't build that along 1,500 kilometers. But that's where East Germany got creative, right? They would have put landmines, right? Tripwires attached to machine guns. I look at a large body of water on the border, a lake. I'm going to swim across it. I'm going to fail. They've thought about it already. So you've got barbed wire under the water, right? That forest is where the tripwires are hidden. The field where the landmines are. Well, Russia is the brother, the big brother, right? East Germany is a satellite state from the Soviet Union. The heads of East Germany were Germans, They were schooled in Moscow. Yeah. They did all their homework and they got all their qualifications in Russia. Right? In terms of who built the wall, 36,000 men on the job, 30,000 are Germans, East Germans, 6,000 roughly Soviets.
But they're getting probably paid through a Russian economy.
Yeah, of course.
Because the
A
money
lot
speaks.
of money.
The money speaks.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of money coming from Moscow and
Money
Yeah.
speaks.
yeah, but it's Germans running their own show. Yeah, with closely listening to what the Russians are saying and nodding and agreeing to everything. Yeah. It's the same, with West Germany. It was Germans running West German government. Where we stand right now, this was evil address number 1. And the reason, this is where the Gestapo headquarters used to be. Yeah? Himmler, Reinhard Heydrich. These are the architects behind the idea of the concentration camp. Right? It's these guys that labelled the Jewish, the homosexual, the blacks, the gypsies, etc., as being undesirables. Right? They were the ones that wanted to cleanse Nazi Germany. So these guys were more evil than Hitler. Horrible people. And this is where it was, the headquarters right here. That explains, see the brickwork down below? A lot of people think that that's a part of the structure of the wall, but it's not. The brickwork below is the only remains for the Gestapo headquarters. Right? So you can assume that would have been cellars, right? And what would a cellar space been used for? Prison, interrogation, and murder. And that's why you've got the storyboard of Nazi Germany down below to relate to that. Go further, you should come back to this area because it's an amazing museum. See the building over here? Not the beautiful building in the background, it's the Martin Gropius Bau. The grey building in the foreground is the whole story of the Gestapo, the secret police of Nazi Germany. And that's actually a free museum. It's open 7 days a week until 8 o'clock. Now what's the right
Question, so when they built the wall here, was it no mistake that they built it right in front of the Gestapo headquarters? Was this already leveled by the time the wall was?
This was levelled.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a rotting. It's a real town.